It's also interesting, like you watched that and then got really good at music, and like we watched that and got really good at Excel. I don't know what the breaking point was or what we missed.
No, you're killing my soul, Alex.
The many paths we can take from Dragon Ball Z or Sailor Moon.
Coming to you from Crunchyroll HQ, this is The Anime Effect, where each week we bring you interviews with amazing people from across the world of anime, from directors to actors to artists and more, to discuss their work and their anime favorites. It's pop culture with an anime lens. I'm your host, Leah President.
It's your boy, LeAlec Murray.
And it's Alex Lebel.
It's not Nick, but he's back.
It could be Nick. We don't know. We still have never confirmed.
And we are all here to see just how powerful the effect of anime really is.
Oh man, you went. Sultry tones.
Because I can't process information right now because I'm so excited.
Oh my
because
gosh,
this is a
same.
band I've been listening to since college, I think, at this point. And they've been with me every step of the way, musically, in my car, the various cars that I've had, the various iPods now, Spotify's that I've had, and it's to find out that they're fans of anime too. I think I literally did like a double take 3 times from the bubble blowing process.
Very Looney Tunes.
When Leah told me about it. But today we've got Corin, Roddick, and MJ from Purity Ring on the pod.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for being here.
It was really
I'm
exciting.
just going to absorb that for a second, that you're here right now.
Extremely cool, extremely
Yeah.
talented. We're so happy to have you.
I will say, as of this weekend, you guys have gained a new fan. I did some diving into you guys' catalog and really enjoyed it. So
Yeah, it's
Nice.
sick.
there you go.
Super appreciate that. And so cool to hear that some of you have been listening to us for longer too. That's like
For sure.
really
I'm
neat
trying to
hear.
figure out if that makes me like younger or older than I am, Alex. Like I can't gauge it.
The
I
mystery
couldn't
deepens.
answer that.
I think we've got to start at the place where we always start, because we've got to, because that's what we always do. But what was both of your gateway anime?
Ooh,
The very first one, just by default for me, had to be Dragon Ball Z.
of course.
Let's go.
I think I was watching that before I even understood the concept of anime, or how it was produced or where it came from. Just like watching Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon. But then I think the first, which I was like absolutely obsessed with, I'd always like beg my mom to rent the VHS at Blockbuster, which only had like 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Z on it. Never being the worst deal ever. But I think my first memory of like really connecting with an anime that felt more like something that I was into, that wasn't just like that, all my friends were just watching whatever was on TV at the time, would have been Inuyasha.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Yeah, there.
Sure.
I think because we grew up in Canada, and there was a TV show or a channel called YTV that had some more kind of obscure programming. And
Yeah, YTV.
yeah, you remember YTV, of course.
Oh, yeah. With that guy, well, I don't remember his name, so I won't bring it up, but yeah.
I think it was like every Thursday night or something at like 11 p.m. they would play 2 episodes of Inuyasha. I think I was probably like maybe 11 at the time or something. And that was the first time that I was like, what is this? I have to make sure that I catch it like every single week because I can't miss like a story beat of this. And I think from there, like, yeah, the whole kind of world of anime opened up to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect. MJ, what about you?
Technically speaking, I think it would have been Sailor Moon, like after school watching Sailor Moon. I'm probably in the same boat as a lot of people with that one, but yeah. It was just an after school show, like one of the ones I watched. I didn't realize it was anime per se, but like, so yeah, that's like a part of my childhood that lately I'm like, oh yeah, that's like a part of me.
No, yeah. Even the aesthetics of it, I think really dominated when I was growing up. Like, I feel like the magical girl genre in general was such a gateway for me personally too, to kind of jump into the genre.
Totally.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah.
I always find this question interesting because we always get, not that it's bad, but we always get the Dragon Ball and the Sailor Moon, and it's always kind of cool to kind of see the duality of like the power fantasy and then the magical girl, and then how people like split off from that and that determines their entire watch history for the rest of their lives.
It's what was accessible at the time too. I think like is kind of like how it broke into our childhoods and into our canon, our journey.
And it's also interesting, like you watched that and then got really good at music, and like we watched that and got really good at Excel. I don't know what the breaking point was or what we missed.
No, you're killing my soul, Alex.
The many paths we can take from Dragon Ball Z or Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I could whip a presentation together for you. All these Dragon Ball Z skills I got.
But yeah, speaking of some of your anime favorites, we actually were able to get a little sneak peek at some of your favorite anime on your list. And we feel like a lot of the anime you love matches sort of your music performance and style. So I'm just going to name some of these off. We've got like Frieren, which we're huge Frieren heads in this room.
This is a Frieren household.
Yeah. We've got like Nier, we've got Apothecary Diaries, Made in Abyss, Full Metal, just like the hits. We love it. So how has your music been inspired by anime, or did you kind of find these shows later on?
I think it's just kind of always been there, like whether it was intentional or not, in the early days of making music, just growing up and listening to these soundtracks and these openings, just the way like they always have these like super banger J-pop openings that have certain types of melodies and chord progressions that you don't really find in other genres. And I think it was only really in the last few years that I realized how much that it influenced me when I started to like dig a little bit deeper, because I don't know anything about music theory or anything. Like Megan is more well versed in that type of thing. I've always just I just wing it and see what happens. So as I started to learn a little bit more, scratch the surface of music theory the past few years, it was really interesting for me to see like, oh, actually all these types of chord progressions that I gravitate to and the types of melodies have like really strong direct connections to J-pop.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We're gonna have to have a conversation about your beats, because I was listening to some of the music earlier and I was like, listen, we're gonna have to put them in an anime somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Thank
Anime
you.
opening coming one.
That is the dream.
That would be. I could die happy. That would be so cool. But yeah, there's been some direct influences here or there, and then some are just kind of more like, as you immerse yourself, you can't help but be influenced by it.
Yeah, I feel like with your live shows in particular too, like the light show is such a big deal that and just seeing you reference Evangelion and Satoshi Kon films in the list that we got a sneak peek at, like you see that and you see those listed out and you're like, yep, that makes total sense. You can kind of see where that started and how that's ended up manifesting.
Totally.
Yeah, no, totally. I think it is one of those things that you wouldn't see it on the surface, but when you start to make those connections, they start to go deep for sure and far back.
Yeah.
But it's been fun. Like I feel like what we've been working on over the past couple of years is kind of a little more forward in that regard, like wearing it on our sleeves a little bit more, which has been really fun to kind of dig into that. So yeah, we're in our era of like kind of fully embracing the influence, I suppose.
Yeah.
A little less
that's
hiding.
so cool. Yeah.
They're in their influence art is what's happening. What about you, MJ? Because I know, like, as far as the lyrics can always kind of be a different beast. Like, how does that? How's anime translated in the way that you do your writing?
So that's like, I feel like that's a little less direct to answer, but for me, I think the tie would be like world making, like I don't know, watching anime is a very different experience than watching, like, I don't know, whatever else people watch, but like, but there's like this world that there's a feeling that I think is similar to the feeling of listening to an album or like being brought into a space with a sound and like with, words do that very quickly too, as well as the sound. But I like just like drawing a picture, like bringing people into an environment that is there to explore and like that they want to be in and feels welcoming and like, I don't know, I'm thinking like Frieren, but like a place
I would say like, yeah, your lyrics are very immersive. And I think that to your point, that is sort of like the tie there of this like world building, immersive sort of like imagery that you conjure, I would say. So
like
I
visual.
definitely feel you on that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was listening to you guys on the way over here and my mind was like wandering and I could see like the imagery of like what your lyrics were creating.
Cool.
And I was like, that would make such a cool opening.
Yeah, cool. That's sweet.
So yeah, I totally feel you on that.
So, of course, Frieren is at the top of you guys' anime list, and it is nominated for Anime of the Year.
I hope it wins.
Let's go.
That's my
See, we might not even have to finish the rest of the question, but we already have one vote cast in. Now, can you say for sure that Frieren is your number one vote here?
For me, yeah, Frieren would be number one. I think just Frieren for me really just feels perfect. Like Apothecary Diaries is so unique and doesn't feel like any other anime, and that's why I love it so much. But Frieren just is like almost a flawless show. Like it's everything about it. But then also Dan to Dan, which was like
which the visuals of Dan to Dan.
Yeah, like I don't think I had
this world.
I didn't have more fun watching an anime than that this last season, I think. So that has I would say it's a really it's absolute banger year for anime.
Yeah,
Incredible.
I agree. I agree.
Incredible year.
It's so hard to like. I'm looking at this list and I'm like, dang, I'm still kind of undecided about like where my vote in my heart lies.
I'm doubting myself completely.
Oh man, I have a new answer every week.
Yeah, like if you asked me this like when I was in the middle of watching Dan to Dan, I would have been like Dan to Dan for sure. Like, because it's like so hard not to fall in love with that show. But I think like having taken some space and reflecting, I think Frieren is just it's a show that I'll remember for years to come, and it felt kind of important too, as like the time that I watched it is like right when we were writing a lot of music, and it felt kind of connected to what we were making at the time.
All right, MJ, what about you? You are now on the clock.
No pressure.
No pressure.
I think I'd have to agree with Friedman, but I still have to watch Dan to Dan, so I feel like that I might like fall into what Corin's saying. But also very musical name. But I think Friedman,
it's like how do you choose between like this broad sweeping fantasy, which is like so fun and like beautiful to watch, and then like the hijinks and hilarity of Dan to Dan is like it is kind of up in the air.
And I've been trying to tell Megan to watch Dan to Dan.
Yeah,
it's next. Yeah.
Have you heard about our Lord and Savior Dan to Dan?
Yeah, going door to door, proselytizing.
It's like me and JoJo's.
If you love this serious drama about the passage of time, you'll also love these ball jokes.
So many of them too, like a whole subplot. But you also included Fullmetal Alchemist in your favorites list over Brotherhood, which to some people can be a little bit of a hot take. I know there's like, it's very polarizing, like who loves which version of the show. So we would love to know, like, why is the original adaptation so dear to your heart?
I watched the original first, so there's that. And I was really excited to see Brotherhood when that came out, because it was like, oh, this is the way it was supposed to be. And it's interesting, like I know so many people that are like, oh, Brotherhood is so much better. Like, what are you talking? Like it does seem to be a bit of a contested issue. And Brotherhood's amazing as well. Like I enjoy that as well for kind of getting a different side of it. But there's just this like kind of original heart to Fullmetal Alchemist that is sort of skipped over a little bit. I mean, and it has more, I would say it also has more flaws. There's more filler But that's just kind of part of the charm. Like you get to spend more time with the characters. Like when at the end of the journey, it kind of feels more earned in a way where Brotherhood, it kind of felt like it was just rushing to the next plot point, maybe to keep up with the manga. At least that was my interpretation. I'm sure I'll get roasted for this.
No. It's a good point.
No, I definitely get that because
that was the first version I watched.
I mean, and I brought it up on the show before for the exact same reasons. Is that you spent a lot more time with the characters and like with the major plot points of Full Metal, like in the original series. So like for instance, I know people don't really want to talk about it, but the whole like Shao Tucker like part of the original one was way longer than it was when you got to Brotherhood, because in Brotherhood it was very like, hey, we know this is the main plot point, so we have to kind of keep moving and get to the next plot point that involves this. So it's definitely understandable, and it's also kind of special because it came at that time where a lot of manga wasn't finished. So a lot of shows at that time had to kind of create their way out of a box.
Yeah, because otherwise you have fans like waiting years for like seasonal adaptation. So I definitely see like the merit between both. And I'm on the camp that I don't hate filler episodes. Like I really don't. I like fun, goofy filler stuff in between like the Chimera making.
But I mean, there's a charm to filler for sure.
And it's such a dark, serious show that without the filler, it lightens it up a little bit in a nice way, I think. And also, I just prefer the ending to the original anime. Even though it's I don't think it's a satisfying ending, but I must have been like 13 or something when I first saw that, and it just kind of like really rocked my world. Or like how like I don't know, it made me think about things. And then seeing the ending for Brotherhood felt a bit more kind of like how you would expect it to it was maybe more satisfying, I think, in terms of like, you get all the things that you kind of wanted, but I liked the kind of empty question marks you were left with after Brotherhood, and that like things aren't really okay in the end. Or sorry, after the original. I mean, not after Brotherhood.
Yeah, it kind of makes you grow up. At that point. You realize that you realize things aren't clean and easy. Get used to it, kid. I actually have a question because we're talking about filler, and I've asked this to a lot of people, and I'm always curious to hear people's thoughts. Filler episodes. Are you team baseball episode or team beach episode?
Yeah, school trip is also up there.
Yep.
Yeah, I think team baseball episode, like
yes, let's go.
The baseball episode in Jujutsu Kaisen is so good.
Super fun. Super fun.
So yeah, but also like there just aren't many filler episodes now anymore. Like anime in the last 5-10 years is seems to be much more kind of tighter edited. So that's like something that like you guys are saying, it's definitely just a result of them needing to kill time until the next manga or whatever. So.
MJ, baseball or beach episode?
I can't answer that. I don't know. I'm like,
there's someone off camera like, don't choose.
I have really strong feelings about filler or anything.
Talk about it.
Speak
talk
on
about it.
I don't know. It's like necessary sometimes. I mean, with anime, it's like a different there's like different reason to fill time, I guess, than with music or whatever. But yeah, fillers.
Oh, you're talking about like compared to filler tracks on an album or something.
Oh
yeah.
Do you? I actually want to know. Do you feel like there are times where you feel like you put a filler track on an album?
Spicy question.
Is that a spicy question?
Kind of, yeah. Because it's like the value of a song to earn its place on a record it's an art choice or whatever, right? Because there's only 10 songs or 15 or 25, whatever people do now, or like again. But no, there's like, so for us, we usually run out of songs. So we're like, well, I guess we'll put this one on.
Yeah. I think in the moment we are very confident that like, oh, these are all the songs, and then sometimes it takes like a couple years of reflection, and you're looking back and you're like,
yeah, exactly.
Okay, well maybe that one.
The hindsight.
Yeah, yeah.
So are you saying you need a Brotherhood version of all of your albums?
Actually,
An extended version.
Yeah,
Oh my
I need
God.
to go back and redo them all, and then they won't be like trying to make them better, and they actually are worse.
So, I mean, while we're on the same vein, I mean, you know, because we're talking about filler episodes and filler tracks, are there any songs that you thought would be filler but actually became hits?
Oh yeah, like popped off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Corin answer that.
It's like, I'm not with the 10-foot pole, bro. Like, I'm
We
not
can get off
doing
the
it.
spicy if you want.
I think we have songs that aren't our favorites that then end up being
let's try away
ones-
from like the word
Yeah,
filler.
well-
like
well,
maybe
no,
just like songs you didn't think would be as appreciated by your fans.
Oh, I don't mean to say that we don't have filler tracks. We probably do. Like, like I'm like, everyone has filler. We don't have filler. No, that's not true.
And I think every artist has songs that like they don't love that fans are like, play that one.
People will hit us up and say, oh, that's my favorite or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, well, fair enough. Like, who are we to say what should be your favorite or like which of ours are good or bad?
On the other hand, though, the song, like playing a song you love over and over, like that doesn't get old. That's totally fine. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, on that note, you kind of go in phases through songs that you perform, but that could also be like watching anime that you watched as a kid, and now you're watching it again as an adult. You're giving some time in between.
Totally.
So we're talking about the songs, but are there any anime series that you watched and gave some time and then watched again
That's a good one.
and then had a different appreciation for?
For me, Evangelion for sure. I watched that like during lockdown. And the original like the not the Amazon movies, but just like the original run with the original weird ending and stuff, because it was something that I'd seen when I was younger, and I liked it a lot at the time, but I didn't really I was definitely not understanding it as much, and I think maybe it just takes multiple viewings to kind of like put it together. But that was seeing that again when I was a bit older. I was like, there's a lot more going on here than I mean, I thought there was a lot going on, and it was very like intense to watch when I was younger. But really happy to come back to that one. But I'll go back and like, I don't know, like I watched the original Fullmetal Alchemist again like a couple of years ago. There's a few that I'll like every maybe 5 years go back to, like Death Note. Gotta watch that at least once every like
Timeless.
6 years, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and this is coming from someone who's watched Attack on Titan like 4 times through now. I'm like, I keep seeing new stuff in it.
Well, like, you know, I love Brotherhood, and I do like an annual watch of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Like,
I love that.
Just, I literally just like, I carve out time, and it's usually like kind of like late, you know, winter, like early spring, and I'm like, all right, it's Full Metal time, and that's all I watch. Like, I don't watch anything else.
Yeah, some animes feel seasonal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a title like that, MJ?
I kind of have a thing that I don't watch things twice, but there's definitely things from childhood that I would revisit, but I don't really have a one that I could say like, oh, I watched this and then it changed me in a different way the second time or something.
Is it like a thing of like there's just too much stuff on your watch list, or is it like
Yeah,
I
you
have
didn't-
to be?
You
it
have to
has
expand
be
on
like-
this one because I've watched stuff like 4, 5, 6 times, and here you are.
Yeah, I
You're like,
don't
nah,
know.
once one and done, I'm out.
One's good. I don't. I just like. I don't know. I think that I have. Maybe it's how my memory works or something, but I don't. I'll just get distracted and like walk away or something. Like I gotta go do this other thing. I've seen
A
this.
little background music.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
You're always
definitely
watching. You watch like new movies, like I feel like you're
The
always
list
like
is long,
you're
too.
always looking for new things. I find. Whereas
I love
like
movies too. So yeah.
you'll
that's-
always have like a list of recommendations for me. And I'm like, I haven't
it's
even
long.
gotten through the last like 5 that you recommended.
Yeah. No. That's so. Yeah, it's a few things, but yeah, distraction and a long list, I would say.
Which anime movies have you been recommending?
I feel like Corin's usually recommending them to me. There's like, I watch indie movies or whatever, Sundance and whatever. And I'll be like, Corin, you should watch this. And then Corin's like, MJ, you should watch.
Oh, so you're like,
we like
giving
trade
each other
things.
insight into
Yes.
each other's like watching world.
Yes, exactly.
I definitely feel that.
Yeah, that's actually.
I feel
very,
like I need
very
that
true.
in my life too, because I'm always
It's
giving
nice.
anime recs. I need like real movie recs.
Real movie.
Real people, not drama people, real people.
Right.
3D.
Like we're not allowed to talk about real movies on here.
Sorry, I like
That's
stepped
strike
into
one.
that a little bit. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, no.
So I did want to ask, like, we were talking up top about like how you had wanted to, like, it was a dream of yours to maybe work on like an anime OP or ED. Do you have any in mind that you're like, wow, I think our music style would really
There you
fit
go.
this title?
Some of our new songs, I'm like, I feel like this could fit.
There's a few, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to like I feel like it's like an anime that doesn't exist yet. Like,
Yeah.
because I'm not sure if it would slot into anything kind of perfectly. But then
What kind
again,
of
I'm
genre
always
are you
kind of
looking at?
I'm always kind of surprised by choices for openings, especially the past couple of years. I feel like they're getting more and more unexpected in a good way.
Yeah. I think I could kind of say the same thing.
I can name a couple
honestly.
titles. I was like, whoa, I did
'Cause,
not
like,
expect that
like,
kind of music, like,
just-
or that song.
I mean, Corin, to your point, I mean, like you look at Creepy Nuts, right? Like those dudes have like 2 hits in the span of like 2 years. And
More,
it's,
I
like-
think more
or
than that, right?
yeah. And it's just something that you wouldn't have expected,
Yeah.
like at all.
Mhm.
I think they did like kind of really jumpstart the more like, I don't know, how would you say it? Like a little bit more like off kilter type
Yeah.
opening. Like
Yeah.
what I'm thinking about is like the Mashal and
Yeah,
Spy
yeah,
Family of it all.
I think what happened is that I think we've gotten to a point with, OPs and EDs, to your point, Corin, is that like it got to being like where it was always like the J-pop or like more J-rocky or like, J R&B kind of like city pop kind of
Which
stuff.
lays
And
down.
then- which is great.
Yeah.
And then eventually over the course of time, especially like as anime has gotten more popular, it's kind of said, all right, you know what? The gloves are off.
Yeah,
Let's just
and
see
more
what
Western
works.
artists
And,
also.
Yeah, and there's more Western
Like-
artists involved
like-
too.
The
Yeah, maybe we
soundtrack
have
to like
better-
cyberpunk.
Yeah, our
Yeah.
friends, our good friends, Health had a
Yeah.
couple songs.
Shout out Johnny.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, right. Maybe you guys have done stuff with them before, but they're
Yeah, I've
they're
interviewed him.
Awesome. Yeah, they're good friends of ours that we've known for many years, and we've collabed with them on some things. But yeah, it was so cool to hear their music in Cyberpunk. That was a great show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to talk about a soundtrack. Like as soon as it came out on vinyl,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm buying that. It's mine.
Maybe to answer your earlier question, probably Made in Abyss. I think would.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes,
That's a good
yes.
answer.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, it would have to have some kind of like element of like, I don't know. I almost want to say like sci-fi-ish.
Yeah, it has to be very
Or like
yeah,
some
yeah.
kind of fantasy element. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that show in particular has a real like otherworldliness that I think.
Man, that show goes places.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, no, I could see that, but I'm kind of imagining some kind of futuristic, like some kind of sci-fi adventure.
Yeah. To your point, I think it could even fit for like an Evangelion.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that's so kind. Wow.
no, I mean it for real.
All right, so what they're saying is let's get them booked for some kind
Yeah.
of sci-fi,
Studio set.
Yeah.
cyber something.
Evangelion 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, put us in.
We'll schedule it out.
You even brought up earlier in our conversation about having Frieren on while you were in the studio working on new music. Is that something that happens a lot when you're working on new music? Is anime kind of ever present while you're creating, or is it really just you've watched so much that it's now just a part of your brain and it just comes out?
Or even just like on the tour bus or whatever, like pop it on.
Corin does I feel like when I come into your studio, there's like something playing on the screen and then the laptop with Ableton. And it's like, you like have it set up so that you can watch something simultaneously. So like, yes.
Yeah, I like having things on silent just to give visuals to inspire. Not all the time, maybe about half the time.
Colors too,
because it can kind of help when you're stuck, and then if you just look at a minute of a show, even if it, like usually if it's something you're familiar with, obviously, because you don't want to be watching something for the first time on silent, but to kind of just imagine the music that would be in that scene can be really helpful to just kind of kickstart an idea like that. So I remember like still on Made in Abyss, like that was one that when that first came out, I loved it so much. And I got you into it, Megan, and I remember we definitely had that playing in the studio. And then Frieren, I don't think we were watching it well. Like that was just something that I was intensely watching that on my own time and then thinking about it. I think when we were working on our new record, because it kind of just felt on point for the themes and the mood.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I think like you said, like just knowing that like the visuals of the anime is inspiring the music, like I'm definitely going to see it in another light. I think that's really cool.
But I think, because I've caught myself doing that, like even though I don't make music, I've caught myself doing that when I was just like writing or whatever. Like it's just like, I probably why my run time for Kuroko's basketball is so high, because I just have it all in the background while I'm working on stuff. So.
They're like, why did you watch this episode 14 times? Oh, because like I didn't know what was going on. I had to just keep replaying it while I was working.
Yeah, it helps get your brain going. I think just probably the reason I'm so obsessed with anime in general is that it's fully someone's vision. Like that everything you're seeing on screen was the director or the team's vision. Like it wasn't like they didn't have to go to a set and then like make choices based upon like, okay, there's that tree there, like we have to shoot it this certain way, which obviously like is great for like real film because it has that unexpected factor to it. But I love the opposite of that, where you just know that like every single detail, every color, every piece of art was like they made the choice for it to specifically be that way. So to me, that's really inspiring. And then to be taking that in while I'm trying to work on music, I think it helps me feel like maybe I'm trying to be more intentional in that way as well.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's incredible.
Well, we are about out of time.
We are dangerously out of time.
Which I wish I could talk to you guys again for another half hour. Because
so much fun.
I have more questions I want answered. But I want to thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been so much fun. We did want to know, is there anything coming up that you would like fans to look out for?
Ooh.
All the plugs go here. Yeah.
I'll just say there is what you've heard and there's more. So
ooh.
Yeah. It's going to be a busy year for us. We've got a lot going on this year.
Exciting.
So yeah.
Very sly answer. Very sly answer.
Well, now you're going to have the anime fans in your corner. So definitely looking forward to it. No, thank you guys so much.
Thank you for being here.
Great.
This was incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, this is a dream to be involved with Crunchyroll. Like, the amount of Crunchyroll that I have watched, I'm like, this is so cool.
We need to see like your Crunchy wrap up.
Yeah. Your Crunchyroll wrap up.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, nice to meet y'all.
Sadly, we also have to go.
Yeah.
But thank you everyone for joining us for another episode of The Anime Effect, brought to you by Crunchyroll and the folks over at Sony Music Entertainment. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
The Anime Effect is hosted by me, Alex Lebel, LeAlec Murray, Leah President, and pour one out for Nicholas Friedman. We are executive produced by Jonathan Hirsch.
He's
Joanna
just on
Clay.
vacation somewhere. He's just chilling. He didn't die, just so you know. Don't pour one out because you think he died.
I mean, we may not have to. We could be the same person. No one knows yet. And Nick Friedman also executive produces the episode. Our lead producer is Kyla Carnero, and our associate producer is Zoe Culkin. Open-Ended Films recorded and Pixelworks edited the video. Our head of production is Sammy Allison. Special thanks to Carla Solorzano and Tamika Balance-Kolasny.
We will be back next week with even more anime, of course. So make sure you turn in. Make sure you turn it. Make sure you tune in.
And you know what? There's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing.
But wait, no, wait.
Even if you turn.
Even if you turn, there's still nothing you can do about it.
We're every side of you, everywhere you look.
All right, y'all. Later days.
Bye.
Bye.